Hello guys, so I want to come on here to do my inspiration video. I know that I normally do these at the beginning of the week, however it's Sunday and I don't even have but one paragraph down. So yeah, like last week was the kids' spring break and then it's just been hectic here. We've had birthday party, we've had our nieces and nephews down here, so yeah, it's been kind of hectic and busy. So I'm going to get a video up, and like I said, I've got one paragraph here. I'm not even going to go by this. I'm just going to, talk about it. And if I ramble too much, I am sorry. I just don't have it wrote down like I normally do. But anyways, that being said, so the subject that I'm going to be talking about today is, have you thanked God today? Now, a lot of times, we get so many things like doing this, doing that. We have cell phones now, which they've been out for a while, but like, technology, new technology, games, computer games on your phone, YouTube, Facebook, yada, yada, yada. It goes on and on. And a lot of times we just simply forget to thank the Lord for things that He's done for us. And so what really brought my attention and what made me want to do this video, and it's funny how things can get your attention from time to time. We were, whenever I went to meet Kiara and Mandy, we were at the Margaritaville. We had went there to eat, and as we were getting done, I had walked to the bathroom and stuff, and I saw out the corner of my eye this little girl. And then after when I got done using the bathroom and I came back out of there, and as I was walking back to my table, she was real close to our table on the other end, and this little girl, she was in a one of these, it's like a wheelchair, but it's the type that's laid back, and the mom was feeding her, and on the arm of her wheelchair, she's laid back like this, and then on the arm of her wheelchair, the mom had a little phone. Well, it was a pretty good size phone. It was kind of like mine, but she had it taped down to where she could get to it, whenever she needed to get on her phone, the little girl. And stuff like that, it just snags my attention so quickly. Whenever I see that, and then I realize, how the Lord blessed me and my husband with our kids, and they come out perfect, nothing wrong with them, and seeing a little kid like that, and, it just, sometimes I think God uses that to get our attention sometimes, which He did me. It just it tugged at my heart, and every time that I see, little kids like that, it burdens my heart, not just for the kid, but for the mom, and the dad, I guess, because I know it has to be hard on them too. But anyways, my subject is, have you thanked God today? And that's something that drawed my attention. We should thank God every day for our kids because they're healthy, they come out perfect. My first daughter, which I was young, I was 17, and soon to be 18 after I had her. I had her in March, and then I turned 18 in April. So during that time, which I was tiny, I was 115 pounds, if that. I was real little. Keeping in mind, when you're first pregnant, your body's going through these changes, and somebody that's this big and your belly's that big, it's a toll on your body. But anyways, I got deathly sick with her, and I know I'm rambling, but I'm just telling you this, to give y'all an idea about what I'm talking about here. I kept getting sick, and that feeling, I stayed sick with my kids the whole 9 months. And my girls, I stayed sick more so than my boys. And with Caitlin, I thought I was going to die. I was sick. Every time I turned around, I would vomit. And so during that time, because I wasn't gaining weight, during what I was supposed to, I was losing weight, but the baby was growing, but I kept losing weight because I couldn't keep nothing down. And during that time, I had got this fear on me. And the fear was so bad that every little move I was afraid, which I'm a worrywart. I worry about everything. And every little move that I made, every little twinge in my stomach that I got, every wrong little feeling that I had, I thought that I was going to miscarry. So, needless to say, I did call a lot into the doctor while I was pregnant with almost all of my kids. Not the last two boys, because I was kind of, used to it. But, so as I got further on, like, I was about 7 months, close to 7 months, I had, like, this very bad back problem. Like, I had fell through the top of, like, the ceiling, like, not the ceiling, but, like, on top of the house. Like, you can go up in there and there's, like, boards or something. It was, like, an old house. Well, I fell through that when I was, a kid growing up. And I guess when I got pregnant, it just triggered all that off, and because she was on the nerve in my back or something. And I had this, like, horrendous back pain, and it was so bad that, like, I had to, like, get, like, these hot heat rubs and, like, get in the shower all the time and have my husband rub my back. It even got to the point to where I had to take Tylenol a lot. Well, during that time, and, like, the pain would go from my back all the way to my stomach, and my stomach would tighten up because of the pain was so bad, and I was so afraid that I was going to go into labor with her. And as I sat there on the piano one day, I was just playing a song, and it's called Angels Camped Around Me. God gave me that song to where I wasn't afraid anymore, and, like, when I was giving birth to her, I knew that, God gave me this song, and everything's going to be okay. But I guess the reason why I was saying that about, when you see kids that's, like they have health problems or something, and then me going through all this time carrying your baby, and then when it's time, like, you start off, like, the baby's small on your stomach, and then when it gets closer time, you're anxious to see if your baby's going to come out healthy. I think every mother is. Even though you do the ultrasound and all that, you still have a fear. I think all mothers do. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Because anything can go wrong. And with all of my kids, that's the first thing that I didn't care if it was a girl or a boy. Of course, I wanted 2 girls at first, and then I wanted 2 boys. But that's the first thing that, is my baby healthy? Like, do they have 10 fingers and 10 feet? Are they okay? And, like, the moment you take your baby and hold them and realize that they're okay, it's like all your worries are gone. So, that being said, just stuff like that, when I'm out and I see little kids and stuff that, God doesn't have to give us the things that He does. Some's fortunate than others, and the ones that's fortunate than the ones that, like, the mom and dad has to take care of the baby. Like, that girl was like 16 or 17. She wasn't a kid. Like, I seen her as a kid, because she was laying back and kind of helpless on her own. But, that could have been me and my husband. We could have had a child like that. And that's just something that draws my attention. I should be thankful. Like, whenever my kids are getting on my nerves during the day, I said, I still should be thankful and stuff, because, God doesn't have to give us the things that He does, but He seems fit. But that's just one thing that really drags me in. So, another thing is, we live in America. We have a lot of things here that other countries don't have. Like, I've got a friend, she's older, and she used to go to a church that we used to go to, but now she's like a missionary, and her husband goes over to Haiti and stuff a lot. And she said from going over there the first time and then coming back here, she was like, it was a total awakening, because over here you don't realize how blessed you are until you get over there. And, like, having water, and, like, getting to bathe, and, like, clean water to drink, and, like, food to eat and stuff like that. We should be thankful for that, even when we sit down to pray. Now, I do forget sometimes. I'm not going to lie. Whenever I sit down, I just shove my food in my mouth. But, I'm always grateful and thankful inside my heart. But we should, teach our kids to be thankful for what they have, because, a lot of kids these days are spoiled. I know my kids are spoiled too, but a lot of times kids are ungrateful for what they do have, and we should teach our children, be thankful and be grateful for how God made you. Like, because I know, like, when you have kids, some people experience bullying, and when you get, like, my oldest daughter's 10, and she's at that age where, like, she's growing up, and I guess trying to, like, some of her friends are trying to pull her this way and pull her that way. And I try to teach my kids, especially when they're old enough to know what you're talking about. Like Isaiah, I don't, talk to him about it, but like the girls, everybody's made different. If we're all made the same, this world would be one huge boring world. That's just how I tell them. And I tell them, I said, if you are with your friends, and if you have any friends out making fun of people, or, making fun of other girls or other boys, don't stand by that. Be those little kids' friends that people don't want to be around because you don't know what kind of life they have. They may not have, nice clothes or a good mom and dad that loves them, and, they just don't. So, that's just, hey, Chloe. That's what I try to teach my kids, and, and that way maybe they can be thankful for what they have also. Another thing, for me, now I'm just telling you things about me that pulls my attention about opening my eyes and being thankful. I was raised, which I've said this plenty of times, and I'm not ashamed of it. I was raised not having a lot of money. I mean, we made it, but if it wasn't for my grandparents, a lot of times I probably went hungry. And, because my daddy, he was an alcoholic, and, which, I mean, it is what it is, but, I just didn't have a whole lot growing up. And looking back from then and from now, like, the Lord's blessed me abundantly. And at times I sit and be like, well, how do I deserve this? Or, but God seen fit. So I am thankful for that. And I should thank God more than what I do when it comes to housework or washing your clothes. Or sometimes I'm like, I just hate doing this. But, a lot of times and I need to start doing this, instead of being so negative about, like, well, Lord, I got to get up and wash my clothes, or Lord, I got to do this. Get up and start thanking God for what you got. Say, Lord, I thank you for these clothes to wash. I mean, we should really do that. Maybe our day would get a little bit brighter and easier. So that's some things that I need to work on in my life. All of us are different, and all of us, maybe some of you thank God every day, but I don't thank God every day, I don't think. I do in my heart, but, like, you got to really mean it, I think, other than just, like, just knowing that it's in your heart. You need to speak it out, because, if you have faith, anything can happen, right? Let's see, what else? I'm thankful for church. Sometimes, like today, for instance, we were late for church, not too late. Maybe we got there at, like, maybe it was 15 after or 20 after. But luckily, they had just only sung, like, a song or two. You think about it, and me and my husband having 4 children, and getting up on Sundays, guys, is not easy. Let me tell you that. I'm a night owl. I'm not a morning person. I'm just going to be honest with you. So, but, it takes me a while. Once I get up, I gotta have my coffee, and then I get my shower. Actually, I get my shower first, and then I get my coffee and sit there and drink my coffee and put my makeup on and all this kind of mess. That normally takes a good hour or two to even get me motivated. And then I have to do my hair. And then we get our kids ready, but they're kind of older to where they can pretty much do on their own. My oldest girls do, and then my husband gets the boys ready half the time. Because it takes me so long to get ready. But, going to church, we should be thankful for. And we should be thankful that we could get our kids up and take them to church. And, Chloe, quit. There's nothing out from under there. Quit. That's a shirt hanging up, Chloe. Come here, girl. Come here, baby. It's a shirt. Come on. It ain't nothing scary. But, yeah, we should be thankful to get up and to take our kids to church. Because, this is they're learning all this stuff. They're seeping all this stuff in. I've noticed even in Sunday school when the kids go, like, they learn all these songs, and Jesus loves me, and this little light of mine, and he's got the whole world in his hands. And, when you're at home, like, my other 3 kids are at school, but I noticed with Isaiah last week, he'll be singing them little songs, and, like, whenever he sees me, he gets embarrassed and stop singing. But they do pick this stuff up, and they do carry it with them. And that's a lot for them to grow in their walk of life, and to have that, thing, like, have God, because you need God in your life to overcome this dark world, the world's dark period. Gotta have God to have peace in your life. People that don't know God don't have peace in their life. And that's a true statement. I know some people don't believe in God, but the people that don't believe God, and once they cross over and get out of that and start believing in God, I guarantee you will feel, a whole different feeling. Yeah, you might get sad, but you still have a peace about you that helps you overcome what you're going through. And here I go rambling. But yeah, we should be thankful that we have a church, and thankful that we can send our kids to church. Let's see. It's a lot harder talking about stuff when you don't have it jotted down, because my mind just wanders. I'm random. I'm a random person. And I'm just thankful. I mean, I'm thankful. I shared on Facebook, and this is going to be the last subject that I'm talking about, because it's hard to get everything together here. But, like, I shared on Facebook a while back, actually last night I think it was, but, like, how I was sitting down playing on the piano, and I was coming up writing a song and stuff, and I started, like, thinking about all of the trials, and, like, all the valleys that I've been through, and, like, the dry, hot desert, in, like, times in my life, not, like, spiritually being in it, like, not physically being in a desert, but spiritually. I was thinking about all the times that I was going through that, and all the times that God carried me through that. And, during that time that I was thinking that, and I was coming up with this song, I could see, like, me carrying a cross behind my back and just dragging it, like, through the valley and through the desert, and then in the mountaintop, it's still there, but I'm up on the mountaintop feeling good. But, through all that time, even through the sadness and stuff that I was in during those times, God was still there, so I still had peace. People that don't know God don't have that peace. They find it elsewhere. And as I was thinking that, I could just picture, like, me bearing my loads, what I have, and I'm playing with a little piece of balloon, guys, sorry. Me bearing my cross, and then going down the road. Now, this is just spiritually thinking. Going down the road, and I see somebody that's down that needs a hand. Like, there's so many people out here hurting, and that needs to know that others care, and that God cares, and needs to know God. And I could just see, me dragging my cross and the loads that I'm under, but I have God. And the cross is like this, but with God, it's going to be up straight. And this was just what I was thinking. And, if we all could think that way, and carry our cross, and plus help somebody else that don't know God, maybe they know God, but they still need that, help to say, look, you can make this, and help carry their cross for them. I know that we can't help people into, like,